It's not always fun and games for first responders.
05 Central, you show me in pursuit.
But sometimes it is.
Oh my God, he's not wearing pants again.
Sometimes it's dangerous.
Flipping around, look out, look out, look out.
Sometimes it's not.
Antler Boulevard for a snake in a house.
And sometimes it's just plain stupid.
Chihuahua in his lap on a lawnmower. You'd be heavily
This
intoxicated.
is the stupid side of first response.
Dispatch, do I really have to go to that?
This is Code 0.5.
Come in 0.5.
Hey guys, Jason coming again. Coming again.
Again.
Doesn't sound good. Should
No.
I start that over?
Phrasing.
Anyway, Rich is here too, and yeah, the Rennick showed up.
Rennicks.
Hey, I've been thinking about it. I've got a story I want to tell you guys.
Right?
Back in the day, I was 18 years old, so this would have been 20 plus years ago. I'm going fishing, believe it or not.
Not you.
Is this when you decided you
Fishing.
loved to fish?
Oh no, that happened when I was younger.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm driving towards, I can't remember what lake or body of water we were going to. Anyway, the highway patrol has got both lanes of traffic shut down. They're doing a like a DL check, driver's license check.
Yep.
So I pull up there, stop, and hand the trooper my license. And he was like, well, where's your insurance verification? Well, you know, back in those days, we don't have it like we do now where, you know, you have your license plate ran and then it comes back and tells you if you've got insurance.
Yeah.
So you have to actually carry it with you.
Yeah, you can't whip your celly out no more and just say, hey,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, heck. I don't think smartphones were around back then.
You had them Nokia bricks.
Yeah, I had one of those.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm looking through my pickup, and the trooper's being cool with me, and I look at him and was like, hey, I can't find it. I don't know what I did with it. So he's cool with me. He doesn't impound my vehicle or anything. So he writes me 2 citations because, one, I don't like wearing my seatbelt, and the other is for not carrying my insurance verification. Or no, I think it was not having insurance. And he said, hey, when you get home, he goes, if you can find that verification, he said, call the court clerk and you can fax it in or take it up there or whatever, and they'll get it taken care of. Well, back in those days, I don't think email was real prominent. So, of course, I've got to fax it. So I get done fishing, go home, find it. Get on the phone. I call the court clerk. I'm like, hey, I got stopped for no insurance, blah, blah, blah. I've got my verification. And the lady was like, okay, that's fine. Just fax it to me. Gave me the number and then call me back. I fax it to her, wait 2 or 3 minutes, then I call her. And she was like, yep, I received it. Don't worry about it. It's going to be dismissed. I was like, okay, freaking great. Well, about, 6 weeks go by and I get a letter in the mail advising me that there's a bench warrant out for my arrest.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, whoa, what the hell? What did I do?
Mm-hmm.
So I get on the phone and call him up. Well, I don't know if maybe she didn't explain it real well or I didn't ask the right questions. But she was like, no, whenever I said that it was dismissed, I was talking about just the insurance citation. She goes, you still have the citation for no seatbelt. And I was like, oh, crap. And I was like, well, hey, I'll come down there right now and take care of this. But I was 18. I was scared to death. And I was like, y'all aren't going to take me to jail for this. And the lady starts laughing. And she goes, no, you don't have to worry about that. Just come down here today and take care of it, and everything will be good.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, thank you. So I get my 20 or 25 bucks or whatever, go down to the county. And it wasn't the county I lived in, so I had to drive a little ways. Walk in there, bam, make the payment, take care of it. And I did all this at 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And now from what I'm hearing is there's a grown-ass man around here that can't take care of his own shit.
Oh.
Y'all know what I'm leading up to.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everybody is getting targeted. Nobody said anything to me, even though I think I'm the one that started all that. But at 18 years old, I knew to be responsible and take care of my shit. But yet there's somebody that is giving basically an entire town and everybody around hell about his shortcomings and not being responsible. But yet, I'm thinking that the same guy has said or put stuff out saying about how being transparent and being responsible and doing things right and all this kind of stuff, but then it doesn't happen.
You got me.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I've got, because like on this podcast, everything we put out usually is funny. We like to do funny stuff and have people laughing because we got to deal with drama all day long and we want a freaking break from it.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's drama coming along all because of an irresponsible adult. Well, I think it's an adult.
Technically.
Well, I mean, I've seen some of the stuff where, you know, he claims to be an adult but then talks shit about his hometown. So I don't understand it.
Yeah, that one was.
But anyway, we recorded that episode on November 19th.
Yes.
Before we recorded that episode, there was a warrant for his arrest.
Mm-hmm.
On November 24th, I checked again. He still had a warrant for his arrest, and that is the day that I uploaded it to our podcast host.
Mm-hmm.
On November 28th, before it aired, I triple checked it. It was still active. And that's when the podcast had aired. And as of today, and making sure this is right, we're recording this on the 4th, it is still active.
Sounds right to me.
So there's all these things going around about retractions and apologies and all this kind of stuff, and yet I have not seen his retraction nor an apology to us. So what's going on with that?
I don't know, because I've got a message from this individual, and it was in reference to like counting on my vote or asking if I would or whatever, and I was like, you know, I can't do that with either side. You know what I mean? I'm not supposed to, per city policy. And the message says that any kind of endorsement or anything from me would be detrimental because his constituents don't like me. But I'm getting blown up about issuing a retraction and an apology publicly. So my thing is if you say that these people don't like me anyway, what difference does it make what I say?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not going to help him. It's not.
Well, here's where I'm confused at is what apology is he wanting?
I don't know.
Because I've kind of gotten...
I guess that I'm not the court clerk or something. It's not.
Well, see, I've gotten bits of it, and then I'm hearing from others, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. He keeps saying something about, calls it good faith or whatever the hell that is. No such thing. It's either you take care of it and pay it or you don't.
No. And like any kind of arrangements like that have to be made with like the city attorney or the judge or, you know, the court clerk or something like that. It's got to go through them. Doesn't go through the police department. We look at the rules, we enforce the rules, and then once we've done what we're supposed to do, it goes over to the court system. And the only time we ever get in it is if they call us. You know this. If they call us, it gets pushed to trial, then they'll say, hey, what happened? They'll set a date and call us in, and we go from there. So, I mean, that...
But why is he blaming you?
Got to blame somebody. So, I'm the guy.
And see, like back in the day, whenever, like if I would deal with somebody that was always messing with their utilities, which FYI, when it comes to utilities, from the past the meter to the house is the homeowner's responsibility. The meter is owned by either the electric company, the city, whoever provides that service.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I saw the warrant, and it was for tampering with utilities. When that citation got wrote, whoever had done it actually cut the guy a break. Mm-hmm. Because not only did he tamper with the utilities, mm-hmm. he stole the water that was coming through there. Mm-hmm. So he didn't get anything for larceny. If there's any kind of damage done to it, you can get him... what's the word I'm looking for? malicious.
Property damage.
Yeah, for damage to city property.
Yeah, destruction of property, public or private.
And if you wanted to keep going with it, you could get him for operating as a plumber or an electrician without a license. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that municipality has anything where you have to pull a permit before you do any kind of work. So, there's so many things that could have been done, but he got a break, and yet he's still complaining. I just don't understand it.
I don't know.
And then the stuff that I've heard and some of it that I've read, it says that I guess it's your fault that he has that warrant. When did you go to law school? 'Cause I was going to say, if you pass a bar and you went to law school, you're in the wrong profession, dude.
I know.
You'd be making a lot more money.
For real.
Because apparently he thinks he can get you on retainer and go represent him in court.
I guess so.
So is that I guess you need to apologize for not going to law school?
Yeah. And I've had to do that. My parents are like on my ass because they're, you know what I'm saying? Like, you should have been a doctor.
Yeah. It's pretty much cut and dry. He did something he wasn't supposed to. He showed up and made like some kind of partial payment. And then when the court date showed up, on those citations, it says that he either has to appear in court and make arrangements or have it all taken care of by the court date. Mm-hmm. Neither one of those were fulfilled. So a warrant got issued for his arrest.
Mm-hmm. And we don't again, that the police department doesn't issue warrants.
Yeah.
That's the city attorney and the judge.
Okay.
They have no say in any of that.
And even if the fine was like $300 and he paid $299.99, it's not taken care of. He either needs to make a payment arrangement or, pay off the rest of it. It's his responsibility, nobody else's.
Yeah.
But it's everybody in his, what's he call it? The shithole or whatever. It's their responsibility to take care of it.
I believe that was the word that was used.
Yeah.
Was it not, Renix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He used the word shithole town.
Yeah.
And see, and now that kind of, it not only irritates, it's kind of pissing me off, but that is the kind of bullshit that we have to put up with on a regular basis. Nobody wants to hold themselves accountable for what they do.
See,
I've screwed up. I've done some things wrong in my life. I've admitted I'm wrong. I got those tickets. I didn't take care of that one. I made a mistake. I thought it was taken care of. And at 18 years old, I knew that it was my responsibility.
Yeah. Man.
And this guy's probably in his 50s or 60s or something, and he's...
I don't know, dude. It's getting to the point now. It's just ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? If it's not me, then it's things that's going on with like other people. There's been people contacting us all week that he's like sent the same "can I count on your vote" thing to, and if they don't agree with it or they, I'm not sure yet. I want to look at the options, whatever. Then it becomes like this whole barrage, dude. And it's straight up like harassment.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And there's like multiple people coming to us like, hey, look at this, I've been taking reports on the stuff all week. And it's, it's getting to the, violation of the Computer Crimes Act.
Well, and okay, here's the deal. If you could give the guy some kind of advice or whatever, this is what I would tell him. Shut your damn mouth, take care of whatever you screwed up, and then start kissing babies and all that and sucking up to people, because what you're doing right now is not working.
No, it's not. It is if you want to look at an approval rating, it's I don't really think there is one. But again, the reason all that has happened isn't because of his actions. It's because it's my fault. He's got a warrant. So.
We'll have more coming up on Code 0.5.
If you're looking for a political podcast that goes beyond the headlines, check out the Beltway Briefing. I'm Howard Schweitzer, CEO of Cozen O'Connor Public Strategies. Every week on the Beltway Briefing, our team of former Republican and Democratic presidential appointees, Capitol Hill veterans, and political advocates shares behind-the-scenes perspective that cuts through the noise. If you want the inside scoop, subscribe now to the Beltway Briefing here or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, and then I even was looking up stuff, and then Renix was able to find out some info and stuff, and everything that we found, the guy can't even run for mayor.
So I mean, it's all why are we even doing it?
Yeah, so why with the game you're playing and all that, stay the hell wherever you're at, make those people miserable, and don't bring it here.
Exactly.
Y'all are just looking at me like, oh crap, he's.
Well, no.
I don't give a crap.
Here's the thing though, is that we use this where we're at now, this platform that we got. You know what I'm saying? We use this for like comedy and for teaching people that aren't in law enforcement what we deal with. Like I don't know. I don't want to dedicate any more of our time and energy to,
Yeah, and that's why I
wasting
brought
the
it
people's
up.
time.
Was because I thought it was funny as hell that he's doing all this stuff, but then he wants to be responsible for supposedly quote unquote cleaning up a town, but he can't even take care of his own shit.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
But yeah, and I've thought about it, and the only time that I would ever encourage somebody to retract something is if they were dishonest or they did something wrong, and at no point is that ever going to happen. Because if that's how you're going to be, then we're not going to do this anymore. We can all split up, go our separate ways, and do something different.
Right.
So, unless y'all got something else to say, I'm just going to be here to tell everyone that this is put to bed. It's over with. He screwed up. He done wrong. Be a man. Accept that and move on.
I concur.
Yep.
So after all this is said and done, be a man or continue to be a moron. It's his choice. Just leave it at that. And from what I've seen, I know which one he's going with. All right, man. Now, speaking of morons, what's the first story we're going to talk about?
Naked guy on freaking Thanksgiving weekend.
Now, it's just a coincidence, the story we're jumping to. It doesn't have anything to do with what we were just talking about.
There is a disclaimer. We do have a disclaimer.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Or any what is it, similarities between actual people or whatever.
It's strictly a coincidence.
Yeah, so if the shoe fits, feel free to put that bitch on and lace it up. Yeah, it's in there. But, yeah, man, naked guy. So, Thanksgiving weekend.
Yes.
Freaking phone blows up. It's dispatch. And I was like, yeah, what's going on? And she's like, who's on right now? I was like, what do you got? Well, and you know it's going to be some crap when she just won't come out and tell you what you got going on. And well, I'm like, what do you got? Just tell me what you got. I'll take it, whatever. I'm like,
If there's that much hesitation in telling you what's going on, I'd be afraid to take it.
Just for the record, they never called me.
so I'm like, what do you got? And she's like, well, I have a deputy down in the South, and he's looking for a naked guy. I was like, okay.
I'm not,
Like-
so why are you telling me?
Like, willingly, And she's like, well, this all started this morning. He showed up at a house, and one of the county units went out there, and, about the time he got there, the guy took off into the woods, and he's like, he's been spotted in the area, and she's like, intermittently, and he'll be like, sometimes he's got pants on, but sometimes he's naked, and he's like running in and out of the mile sections. I was like, what? She's like, anyway, this unit's got him. He's in this mile section, and he's driving around trying to find him, and he needs some help. And I was like, oh yeah, this is content. Show me en route.
You're way too excited.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'd have been like, nope.
Oh,
I think when he gets asked to go on calls, he sits there and he asks himself first, will this be good content?
yeah.
And then he's like, will I have to do a report? Nope, I'm
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, definitely their deal. I'm just here to watch. So, but I get down there and I meet up with the deputy, and he's like, he's been driving around this mile section, and he's like, yeah, he's in here somewhere. Like, I was like, well, where'd he go in at? And he's like, he took off. He's telling me. So he
Wasn't
goes,
it like raining that day?
"Oh, it's ass off, dude. It was horrible, and it was cold. It was like 40-something degrees and rainy, like Seattle in this bitch or something, dude. I'm telling you."
Well, if it was that cold and raining, how could they tell it was a guy?
That's exactly. There was some shrinkage. There was definitely some shrinkage going on there. We'll get to that in here in just a minute. But so we're driving around this mile section. We're getting close to the county line, and then so on our deal, we can see between two counties because of where we sit. We're just special like that. But we can see y'all and then the other county. Well, I see this other call populate, and it's in the area that we're at. And he said, homeowner sees naked man in pasture. And so I call the deputy that I'm out with to help. I'm like, hey, he's over here in the other county. They got a deputy headed this way. He's like, all right. So we meet up, and we meet up in front of the house. Well, that other deputy just blows right past us. Just doesn't even stop. You know, you got 2 units chilling there, and he didn't even check. So he hurries and gets down there. Well, then I turn on the radio because we got the radios in between counties. So I turn that radio on, and I'm listening to his traffic, and he's like, well, this might be that guy, I guess, is looking for. Holler at him and have him come over here. So we back up and go that way. Anyway, we get down there, and that deputy has already taken off, and he's going down like into the freaking deer woods, right, trying to find this guy. And so me and the other deputy, this old boy comes out, and he's like, yep, he's down in yonder holler. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I don't even know what the hell a holler is, first off. And what do you mean down in? Like he's in there ways? And he's like, oh, yeah. So we're like trying to follow and like make it through, and it's slippery, dude. It's horrible and muddy. But anyway, we end up catching up to the other deputy, and we have to freaking cross a creek and over the river and through the woods, and we were damn near to Grandma's house. And we come around the corner, and this old boy, I shit you not, is like, he's up kind of on a log, and if y'all can imagine, is like a tweaker looking Captain Morgan. And he's just geeking out. I mean, twisting and turning and air biscuiting away. And so one of the deputies pulls his JPX, and he's like, hands up. Get your hands up. Get your hands where I can see them. And old boy's like, don't be talking to me like that. And she talked to me like that. And I was like, man, this dude is fucked up. So I had told them to hold freaking less lethal on him, and I start walking over there. Well, I couldn't figure out why he wasn't running because he had that look. But I was like, what? Anyway, his pants were caught.
Did you hear what he said? Hold less lethal because he wanted to go tackle the naked guy.
Yeah. It's on, dude, they got me out in the rain. I'm already soaked. I'm like, if we're going to do it, let's go hard or go home.
Wet.
If he's got to get out in the rain and search for a half naked dude or a naked dude,
yeah.
he's tackling somebody.
So they're holding, and of course, both of them, I'm sure, were back there snickering. So I make my way down there, and when I get to him, I realize his pants were caught around a tree stump. So his pants were like around his feet, and that was what was preventing him from scuttling away, freaking hitting the Zoidberg, freaking.
Oh, so he wasn't completely naked?
He had pants on, or he had like boxer briefs on.
Oh, okay.
So we get him loose, try to get his pants up, and they're talking to him, and I move around, back behind him while he's talking to the other two, and he goes to move his hands up, and I grabbed one and click. I grabbed the other and click. I was like, nope, you're not under arrest, bud. You're all right. You're good. We're going to get up here. So anyway, now that we've got him, we've got to walk all the way back with this dude. And his freaking pants were like 3 times the size of what they should have been. So like as we're walking, his pants are like falling down to his knees. So we got to stop periodically and hike his pants up. Well, we get there and another one of y'all's guys show up. And he jumps out all freaking, it was 19. He jumps out and he's all, hey, what's going on? Oh, you got him. Okay, cool. And starts walking back to his truck. I was like, you're a bastard. You're a bastard because you said you were busy, and now I'm out here and I'm freaking soaked. And yeah.
He heard he was cuffed up, and he's like, oh, okay, now it's time.
Yeah, now I can go. Yeah. Now I can go check out what's going on. But yeah, he turns out he had a warrant. He ended up having warrants, so he ended up taking a ride. But
so man, go from one moron to a warrant with a warrant to another moron with a warrant.
Yeah.
Why was he out running around naked, though?
He was gacked out of his mind.
Oh, okay. You know, you hear that crap that they're running around naked and stuff, and the first thing you think of is this PCP, and you're going to be fighting this dude for hours.
Dude, he fell. He was beat to shit. Like, when he comes down off of whatever, I don't even know if he's even not high now. But when he comes down, I'm here to tell you, he's going to be hurting. He's going to want some ibuprofen. Definitely. Because he was already starting to bruise. It's like he slipped and, like, rolled downhill, and it was a bad deal. It was bad. I felt bad for him. Then I felt even worse, though, because I was freaking soaked.
Yeah, you sent me a picture after that, and it was all the water was just dripping from your face.
Yeah.
I think I had a blanket over my legs on my couch watching TV or something.
Yeah. With badge.
Yeah.
Freaking tweakers, man.
Oh, well, what else you got over there? I just got a text from my wife.
Uh-oh.
She's going to attempt to cook again.
Uh-oh. She going to put water in the beans this time?
Says, how long does it take to smoke a chicken?
Oh, no.
Oh,
Get
that's
the fire
a bad idea
department
right now.
Get them, call them up.
She better stay away from my smoker.
Have them stage. Have them stage. That is not going to end well.
Have them stage right next to your house.
Yeah. Just get them over there.
Well, Renix, you haven't said a whole lot in the last few episodes.
I've just been kind of listening to y'all. Enjoying the comedy.
You know, today we were going to have Jared. He's supposed to come down again. And then, Cap, he's supposed to show up too.
Ooh.
I don't know if they're going to make it, though.
Oh, yeah?
Let's hope they do.
They were at a Christmas party last night.
Oh, that cannot end well.
No, I don't think it did. So I got a phone call from one of them at almost 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, we might need to do this later.
Oh, he's going to be wanting some ibuprofen, too, when he wakes up, ain't he?
I think they played in some kind of cornhole tournament or something. Or
Where?
at that Christmas party they were at.
It's too bad I wasn't there.
Oh, he just shut him down.
Yeah. You bastard.
Yeah.
At first I was like, oh, I guess Renix is good at cornhole. Then I forgot he's the killer of fun.
Oh, yeah.
No, I've never played cornhole.
You can go walk up to the sheriff, tell him better shut it down. No, he'd have probably told them to shut it down, and if the sheriff had any questions, tell him to call him.
Oh, my God.
Because that's how he does. Oh, that's a good one.
You're going to bring that one up?
Yes.
Oh, man.
So he's out running.
Your eyes kind of lit up.
Yes, this is a
Oh.
good one. I've never used this one. He's out running traffic, right?
Yeah.
And he pulls the used to be the undersheriff over there with y'all.
Yeah.
And he's an investigator now over somewhere else. But anyway, he pulls the old undersheriff's granddaughter over, right? Gives her a stern talking to,
65 and a 45.
right? And gives her a stern talking to, does whatever he does, and then he ends up, he never made contact, so he cut her loose. Well, this girl is also related to our major. So we were talking about traffic, and the major was like, oh, yeah, hey, my dad wanted to tell you, you might just kind of look at where you're at, when you're running traffic, when you're running that radar, because if you catch them in a certain spot, it's tricky because you think you're in your city limits, but you're not because it ends right here. And so they didn't get in this whole big old back and forth of where it ends. And then he goes and looks at a map, and then they argue about the map and whatever. He's like, look, moral of the story is just be careful about where you're pulling people over. Just make sure you're in the right spot when you're doing this. He goes, my dad wanted me to let you know. And
No. That's not how it went. The next day, Major says...
I'm getting to that. So the next day, me and the Major start texting him, giving him shit about it. Well, we get him amped up. Like, we're doing this all day long.
It was horrible.
Finally, this fool's time for his shift to come in. So he gets to the PD, and you hear his door shut, and he's all freaking chest puffed out.
But inside, I was scared.
Conor McGregor freaking walking into the PD, swings the door wide open. He says, You tell your dad if he's got anything to say, he can call me. So Major's like, okay, I'll do that. And he's like, no, but for real though, seriously, don't do it. And he's like, no, I'm going to give him. I was like, okay, yeah, we'll make sure he's got your number so he can call you. And he's like, no, but for real though, I was just messing around. I was like, you sure about that? And he's like, and we end up, giving him crap. Well, they had to go do something, and they were all together. I think he had to go drop some paperwork off or something. But anyway, so they go, and this fool, Major sends me this video from the back of the car. He's sitting in the back seat, and Renix is driving. Major's dad's in the passenger seat, and Renix is freaking 10 and 2, eyes straight forward, freaking doing the speed limit. I mean, signaling, full stops, like everything. Like this fool, you would think he had like a driving instructor next to him or something, dude. His freaking was puckered.
We get on that highway out there, and his dad looks over at me. He's like, "Is this all this thing will do?" I was like, "I'm going the speed limit." He's like, "That's just a suggestion." I was like, "Oh."
So that's where you'll hear me sometimes, and I'll be like, "Oh, you want to make sure they got your number? That way they can call you."
Yes, Rich, tell them all. That's where it started.
Okay. All right. I'm going to make sure the sheriff has it. Tell him you're going to shut his cornhole game down.
Well, that's a good way to end the episode. We go from one moron to a naked moron to just a regular moron again.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We're getting out of here.
Later.
You have been listening to Code 0.5, the lighter side of police work. If you have ideas or suggestions for our show, we'd love to hear from you. Visit our website at code05.co. That's code05.co. And please consider making a donation at our Patreon page, patreon.com/code05. Be sure to use the digits 05. Thanks for listening to Code 0.5.